Welcome to Brett Ridgway's Learning for Life Patreon exclusive mountain dulcimer lesson on the introduction to fingerpicking. And the fingerpicking lessons will remain Patreon exclusive. And I think you're going to enjoy this. The reason I played Wayfaring Stranger is I taught that using a flat pick. And if you notice, it doesn't sound anything like what I just did or what's at the beginning of the video lessons as the introduction. And it's because you need to fingerpick to get that same feeling and that same just being able to do it using all your fingers. So I want to thank my patrons. To you all, I cannot do this without you. It is because of you that these lessons are possible. I know I say this in every lesson, but I'm telling you, personal one-on-one from the bottom of my heart, thank you for your faithful giving. I know people drop off every once in a while for one reason or another, but the vast majority have stuck with it. And I want to thank you for doing that and for making this possible for me and for you and for others. And so thank you. So we're going to get right into it on finger picking. And what I want you to do first is I want you to take your pinky and I want you to anchor it on the top of your instrument so that when you're picking, you're not free floating like this. This will give you stability and accuracy. So make sure that pinky always stays down. All right, and what you're going to do, if you notice how my fingers are bent, they're curled over the strings. They're not straight like this. They're curled. Just like if you were doing this. They're curled. And 95% of the time, your thumb is going to pick the melody string. Your pointer is going to pick the middle string, and your middle finger is going to pick the bass. So thumb on melody, index on middle finger on bass. So I'm going to teach you a series of patterns. One is a forward roll. And if you were playing a banjo, because this is exactly the same thing, it wouldn't matter what strings you're playing, but since we only have 3 fingers we're using on 3 strings, the order of a forward roll is thumb, index, middle, thumb, index, middle, thumb, index, middle, thumb, index, middle, melody, middle, bass, melody, middle, bass. And what I want you to do is just sit there and do this. Just play that over and over. You don't want to put pauses. In other words, you don't want to do this. Pause, pause, pause. So you need to keep it going. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Do it while you're watching TV. You can put your hand over it so you don't annoy everybody. But just sit there and practice that over and over and over. You can actually do this in your car by doing this pattern just on your leg. Because what you're doing is you're teaching your right hand muscle memory and you're teaching that hand to play. So that's a forward roll. Thumb, index, middle, thumb, index, middle. A backward roll is just the opposite. Middle, index, thumb, middle, index, thumb, middle, index, thumb. I sped up there. Eventually what you want to do is you do want to speed that up. So forward roll, thumb, index, middle, backward roll, middle, index, thumb. Now, if we played a forward, backward roll together, we wouldn't do it as we just did it. We would play it this way. Thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index. Melody, middle, bass, middle, melody, middle, bass, middle, melody, middle, bass, middle. So if you were playing a measure 4 beats, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you're ending on that middle string. So you want to teach your right hand to play. The other thing you want to do is try to carry on a conversation with somebody while you're doing this, because if you can do that, then you will have it down. And again, you want to work on the speed. All right, I'm going to give you another picking pattern, and this is called a pinch. And basically your thumb's on the melody, your middle is on the bass, and you're just picking in. Notice my pinky is not leaving the fretboard. If you can't see it, I'm not sure you can see it. And that's a pinch. And what we're going to do is go pinch, middle, pinch, middle. And you just want to keep doing that over and over and over. So there's one more, and you're just going to use your thumb and your middle, and this is where I said 95% of the time. You're going to play thumb on the middle, middle on the bass, thumb on the melody, middle on the bass. So thumb, bass, or let's do it this way: middle, bass, melody, bass, middle, bass, melody, bass. But you're just using 2 fingers, that pointer finger is floating. So if you learn those patterns where you're not thinking about them, you can actually take any song, and it does not matter which picking pattern you use. So just to show you this, I'm not going to move the camera, because we're going to do Boil Them Cabbages Down, which is just, everybody knows it, so it's easy to do. So all I'm doing is I'm holding the 2 down with my left hand, with my thumb, pinch, pick, pinch, pick, going up to 3, and I'm actually making a G, down to 2, making an A chord, So that's using the pinch and the pick pattern. All right, let's try a forward roll. And remember when I said use the forward roll, you're going to come back on that middle string. So it's going to sound like this: 2, you're holding with your left hand. And then you repeat that, because we're playing it 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Make your G, 2, make your A, so again, very slowly. Make your G, 2 or D, A, 2, G, or 3, 2 or D, A, open. So what you can do here And actually, let's do the alternating thumb. Let's do a backward roll. You could do it this way. So what you're going to do is start on the bass, but your melody is still staying on the melody. The melody of the song is still staying on the melody string. So it's... And it's not any harder. It's just your mind doesn't accept it as much because the melody's not starting it, it's coming in afterwards. And then we can also do the two-finger alternating thumb. So I really think you can do that. Just take your time with this. But then after you get them all down, and the key word was after, you get them all down, not now. After you get them all down, try to mix it up. So you can do it this way. Now, that was a little extreme. So I wouldn't try to put all four in there at the same time. So maybe work on the forward roll and the pinch. So you can even double time that, where you go 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... The whole key to this lesson is not to be playing tunes. It's to get these picking patterns down. Forward roll, backward roll, alternating thumb, and the pinch. So work on that, and as we do another Patreon lesson, next month is going to be all Christmas carols, Christmas in July, so we will not be continuing there unless we work on teaching a tune finger picked. Let me think on that. I would rather you get the foundation and the basics down with something a little bit easier, but we will come back to this as a Patreon exclusive lesson. I do hope you enjoyed that. I do hope these lessons are a blessing. And thank you again from the bottom of my heart for making this possible. We will see you all soon.